All right, so we didn't want to wait for 2 years to make another video. So what we decided to do
2 weeks.
is every 2 weeks we're going to put out a vlog about the things that we have, or maybe depending on how things go, have not accomplished. For us, it's Saturday, March 9th. For you, it's the future. Well, future to us, it'll be the past. So, what did we... 2 weeks ago, almost to the day, we put out our first YouTube video, which is really exciting. It was the documentary about you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was about all of us, but mostly
It was about all
me.
of us. I was a very small part in that role because I was a very small, I had a very small role in that whole cosplay in general.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, the documentary was well received, I think. It's at almost 500 views at this point, I think. Which, for people who have 0 following and 0 videos, I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
Which is neat. So, and that's when we decided to not wait 2 years to do our next video.
Right. So we decided not to go with a weekly vlog because a lot of times what happens in 1 week isn't enough progress to make an interesting video, but over the course of 2 weeks, generally we can get a project, whatever we're working on, to a drastically different step. Recapping a week worth of sanding is not exciting.
Recapping 2 weeks worth of sanding, however, thrilling content.
Absolutely. So, where were we 2 weeks ago? I was working on The Widow's Kiss.
Mm-hmm. Endlessly.
And accepting the long nightmare that is my life with The Widow's Kiss. I love the gun, and I think it's a great project. It has been much more of a bear than I expected it to be, to say the least.
I've done a lot of stuff on the Quake Champions rocket launcher, because I have taken the rear section to just about ready to mold, pretty much. The grip and like the receiver, everything on the back end of it, not the barrel and not the rocket rack, but everything to the back third of the gun had been sanded and primed, and I put another layer of primer on it and sponge sanded it so that it is nice and glossy and everything's looking phenomenal, and the back has been glued together, so that's pretty much ready to mold.
And I'm totally not jealous.
The Doom Guy helmet also is pretty much ready to mold. I 3D printed the detail bits, and the details have to get finished so they can get installed before the molding process, but aside from that, it's pretty much ready to go. I had wanted to mold it by this point, but one thing after the other came up, and we got a couple of like commission projects that kind of took precedence. So I haven't been able to finish the Doom Guy yet, but I'm hoping to do that in the next couple days, because I want to get that out the door. It's March already. That needs to get going. Right?
Yeah. And then we started working on a project that got rejected, but they still want, because that's how it works. And that's what we did for most of this week.
Yeah, for a few days.
Yeah.
Last fall, we made a thing for Cartoon Network, and one of the prototypes for it, they decided was too large. But we kept it because they were like, maybe we can show it off in the office or something. So then they got in touch with me, and they're doing something with it. And so the prototype that we still have, we're finishing that all the way. So we started working on that as well.
And that got a lot further. We had to redo certain parts of it. This project was a learning project. The gauntlets were there's a lot to learn while we did those. We moved over to a new filament. We started using new methods of finishing and stuff like that. So we actually had to redo a bunch of the work that we had already done.
Because we didn't know, right?
Yeah.
The gauntlets were the first project we used. PETG. We bought the XTC for it, the XTC 3D from Smooth On.
But we never used it.
Yeah, I don't think we used it for it because
it was a
moving
rush.
too fast.
Yeah, we needed to have it fucking done.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't have time to experiment with a chemical that
it was like a 16-hour cure time.
And we weren't familiar with. We didn't have time for things to go wrong. Can you imagine if what happened to the Death Knight skull had happened to the...
Yeah.
I would have...
The Death Knight helmet, by the way.
Yeah, not skull.
The Death Knight is helmet. A skull, yeah. He's a skull man.
But yeah, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah,
so we coated it in super glue, which is cool and works if you do it just right. And we kind of didn't do it just right on all of the pieces. So
because we were also, again, we were learning. We had never done PETG. We didn't know how to put that smoothing material on it, and so it kind of went okay. But we powered through it this week. We sanded all of it down. We put the XTC on. It's ready to go. I mean, tomorrow I'm hoping to have all of that under primer, basically. So yeah.
And there's no reason we can't do that tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
We have to sand it all again, but it's all really smooth already. So really the sanding now is the 250 grit, sand it down until it's smooth, and then filler primer.
Yeah.
Probably not even filler primer, just straight to primer.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of pieces that need some attention. There are a couple of pieces that we sanded down too far, and the PETG is breaking off in layers, and we're gonna have to go back over that with some kind of fill. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing yet. And that's kind of it.
No, I SLA'd the rocket launcher parts as well. I got my Museum of Starship Troopers props that I did not intend on creating. I got the last of that. I in addition to the Stunt magazine, someone also offered to sell me a Hero magazine. So I have one of the Hero magazine props. So I need to adjust my 3D model ever so slightly, which I'm impressed by, the fact that I got it that close off of a piece of foam that's 20 years old, right? All my measurements. So I just need to adjust that slightly and then 3D print the new one, which won't take long. I'm trying to think what else. I know I worked on a couple other things. We got the vinyl cutter up and running, and we did our first vinyl cut decal. I vinyl cut Making It Up's logo big on the side of the computer, the streaming computer that we use, which is cool. We'll be doing a lot more vinyl cutting stuff in the future, I'm sure. It's so easy. It's just...
Yeah, it's super easy. And it's got the peelies, which people tend to freak out about. I don't care, personally.
You don't care about the peelies?
Don't care about the peelies. They don't really amuse me.
You gotta savor the peelies.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I feel like we did other things.
I don't.
No?
Not really.
Yeah, but we can tell them what we did today.
I mean... Okay.
We got the X-Carve.
Oh, that.
Oh, that old thing.
Well, you know, we did other things today, too.
A friend of our, someone who we share the space with, they have a large X-Carve, the X-Carve 1000. And it was sitting in their garage and very difficult to use in its space. And I convinced them to bring it here so that they have a better place to use it. And now we have access to it.
Yeah.
So we now have CNCing in our repertoire of exotic materials and tools.
Yeah, I mean, so we've got 3D printers. We have a laser cutter that's not done yet, but it will be. We have a vinyl cutter. We have a professional level printer, and now we have access to a CNC, like very direct access. We can go use it whenever we want.
Yeah.
As long as it's not currently in use, obviously. But that was the weeks.
Yeah.
Well, as is often the tradition on our stream, now that we are at the end of this video, it might be appropriate for me to do introductions. This is our first vlog, so I had the thought that there perhaps might be people out there who don't have a clue who the fuck we are. My name is Elliot. This is Michelle. And behind the camera, as always, both here and during our stream, is the Red Human.
Yeah. Do we want to do the Wubby thing?
What's the Wubby thing?
The Wubby thing is, you can tune into us right now. We're live right now on Twitch at twitch.tv/makingitup.
But depending on when you watch this, we're not live.
No. You don't include that. It's always.
But it's
we're live
not always.
We're live right now at twitch.tv/makingitup.
But we're not.
But they'll tune in.
But maybe. But what if they tune in and we're not live?
They'll come back.
That just feels like lying. We're going to use our abilities for film to manipulate you into subscribing not only to our YouTube, but our Twitch, which is at twitch.tv/makingitup.
Have you guys heard of Twitch Prime?